Now let's do some practice questions on angles and quadrants. The first question is, let's figure out which quadrants do these below angles belong. The first one is 145 degree. Okay, let's first plot the angles of the four quadrants here, right? This is 0 degrees because this is where our reference is, this is where we start, right? And this is definitely 90 degrees, right? This should be 90 degrees line, right? And this will be 90 plus 90, right? This is 180 degrees, and this is 90 again, so 180 plus 90, this will be 270 degrees. And coming back here, this would be 360, right? So 0 degrees is almost equal to 360 degrees. It's just another rotation, right? So now let's see, where is 145? 145 is between 90 degrees and 180 degrees, so it should be somewhere in this area, right? So which quadrant it is? So let's write the quadrants. This we know is the first quadrant, this we know is the second quadrant, this is the third quadrant, this is the fourth quadrant. So 145 degrees is here, right? So this is second quadrant. Let's put quad. 65 degrees, it's between 0 and 90, right? So this is first quadrant. How about 210? 210 is between 180 and 270, so that is third quadrant. 160 again is between 90 and 180, right? 160 is less than 180 and greater than 90, so this is again second quadrant. 300 is less than 360 but greater than 270, so that is fourth quadrant. 240 is less than 270 and greater than 180, that's again third quadrant. Now let's move to the next. Second question is to convert these three angles which are in degrees to radians. 145 degrees, right? So we know that 180 degrees is pi radians, right? How much is 145 degree? So 145 degree would be 145 times pi over 180, right? So let's simplify this. This is 5 2s 10, 5 9s. This is 5 3 is 15, 6. So 29 pi over 16. So this is 29 pi over 36 radians. Now 360 degrees, similar fashion. 360 degrees would be 360 times pi over 180, right? 182 is 360, so it's 2 pi. So 2 pi radians is 360 degrees. Sure, right? 180 degrees is pi radians, so 360 should be 2 pi. How about 210? So 210 degrees would be 210 times pi over 180. 0 0 cancels off. 3 7s, 3 6. So 7 pi over 6. 6 radians. Now the third question is convert the below angles which are in radians to degrees. Pi by 2 radians. So now it's the other way around. So we know that pi radians is equal to 180 degrees, right? How many would be pi by 2 radians? So pi by 2 radians would be pi by 2 over 180 degrees over pi. So pi cancels off. 180 over 2 is 90 degrees, right? 2 nines, 90 degrees. So this is pi by 2 radians is equal to 90 degrees. That's pretty much clear, right? Because pi radians is 180 degrees. So pi over 2 radians would be 180 over 2, which is 90 degrees. 2 pi over 3. So 2 pi over 3 should be, so 2 pi over 2 radians would be 2 pi over 3 times 180 over pi. Your pi cancels away. 3 60s, 62s is 120. So this is 120 degrees. What is 3 pi over 2? This should be 3 pi over 2 times 180 over pi. So pi cancels away. 2 90s. 90 times 3 is 270 degrees. Okay. So here is a small trick or tip. If you want to convert from degrees to radians, you multiply with pi over 180, right? That is the term you have here. If you want to convert from radians to degrees, you multiply with a 180 over pi. Okay, let's write it down somewhere here. Okay, so if you want to convert from degrees to radians, then you got to multiply whatever the angle you have here times pi over 180, right? Then you get in radians. If you want to convert from radians to degrees, then you multiply the angle here, say theta, times 180 over pi.